True Blood is one of the most popular television series of the 2000s and premiered back in 2008. Though it premiered late in the 2000s, it was a massive hit and has a very dedicated fan base to this day. The ending was a little controversial at the time, but did you know that Jessica's actress didn't like it either? Well, stay tuned to today's video as we discuss True Blood's ending.
Dead body.
Excuse me.
First up, True Blood didn't end the way Jessica's actor hoped it would. When the ending of True Blood finally came out, many people in the fanbase weren't too happy about it. Though it wasn't the worst ending in the world, many people just weren't keen on the way things went down. It also seems like one of the stars also wasn't too happy with the way it happened, as True Blood star Deborah Ann Woll revealed that the show didn't end the way she wanted it to. True Blood was a series adapted by American Beauty writer Alan Ball and was based on the best-selling book Southern Vampires Mysteries by Charlaine Harris. True Blood premiered back in 2008 and enjoyed a long 7-season run on HBO with Deborah Ann Woll featured as the character Jessica throughout the series, a young vampire turned by Bill Compton back in the first season. Recently, we got to see Deborah talk about her time on True Blood on the Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum's podcast. On this podcast, she spoke about her feelings on the final season and how it didn't end as she had hoped. Deborah explained and spoke a lot about her love for the character and the series as a whole, but confided that the finale just didn't play out in the way she wanted it to, and that she envisioned Jessica leaving to travel the world or even rise in the world of vampire politics. She also mentioned that she'd like to see Jessica return with much more story in a potential reboot or carry on of the series. This is what she said on the podcast. "I know nothing about any movie. I love the character. If it was well written, sure. I'll say this. True Blood did not end the way I thought it was going to end or wanted it to end. I was like, she should go explore the world and become Queen of Louisiana or something like that. So I would love more story for Jessica out of that."
That would be my biggest regret.
You're drunk.
And if I meet the true death without having at least kissed Yusuke Stackhouse.
Why True Blood's series finale was divisive. The character of Jessica was originally not featured in the book series, but Deborah's character became a huge fan favorite due to her familiar relationship with Bill and their ongoing romance with Fortenberry. This all accumulated in a storyline for the final season, where she got married to Fortenberry during the finale. However, the series followed her growth from a restrained teenager in human form into a wild newborn vampire, which had many viewers hoping that her freedom would eventually become a reality in True Blood's final season and season finale. Many people thought that this was going to happen after she separated from Fortenberry in the 4th season. The epilogue of the final season suggested that she was living a happy domestic life after the events of the final season, but many people were very unsatisfied with this ending as well as other leading characters. True Blood concluded back in 2014, and the 7th and final season garnered a lot of criticism at the time, despite fans of the series providing steady ratings. The show had deviated very heavily from the source material several seasons earlier, but the last episode itself proved it could still create one of the most controversial moments in the series, as fans were left unhappy with the endgame of various characters. The love triangle between Yusuke Stackhouse, Bill Compton, and Eric Northman was one of the show's most vibrant assets for fans. Instead, the show left many of the most familiar faces in the series either dead or separated without a real conclusion to their storyline. The vast majority of people in the fanbase felt like the show had left everything in a terrible state and failed to keep things on a high note. There were recent hints that there is a developing reboot for the series, so fans could see their beloved characters return to the small screen in the next 5 years or so. The original showrunner is supposedly attached to the series as an executive producer, but the adaptation is most likely going to be an overhaul of the original True Blood story. The series itself was a huge departure from the original book series, so maybe the reboot might hold closer to the original story. Little is known about this reboot, but there is certainly a huge expectation that a lot of new actors will assume the show's leading roles. However, Deborah and many other co-stars have recently expressed an interest in returning to their characters. What do you think about all this? Please let us know your opinion on the True Blood ending and what Deborah Ann Woll thought about it in the comments below. And now onto some other True Blood news and information to wrap up today's video.
Even Bill Compton, they all gave up on you.
It's cool, right?
Tell her I was born.
True Blood movie chances addressed by Jessica actor. As we have already mentioned in today's video, Deborah Ann Woll played Jessica Hamby in the hit vampire series on HBO True Blood. Recently, she addressed a potential follow-up movie to the series, as it was going around on the internet. Being based upon an original book series, the series has more to get out of it as the original HBO series didn't follow too heavily from the books. There is a lot of source material that they could adapt for a future movie. So let's get into what might happen for the next outing in the True Blood universe. True Blood ran for 7 seasons and 80 episodes before it concluded in April of 2014. Ever since then, many people have been mentioning how the series could return, and the vast majority want a movie of some sort to appear on HBO. Deborah spoke about her time on the series, and now she didn't know if the movie is going to happen or not. We already mentioned her quote from the Inside of You podcast earlier in this video, but let's just say we don't know if a movie is going to happen, but she would love to return if the character was well written and the story was good.
6 hours?
You seem surprised.
What do you think's gonna happen when I do come to grips with it? Do you think my legs are just gonna melt?
How a True Blood movie could work. Now that we have covered that a movie might be in the works, let's discuss what could happen in that movie and how it could work. The idea of reviving a once-loved television series as a television movie has happened quite a few times in the past. Though some might not have happened yet, many people have conceptualized short-lived series such as Firefly to have a series of movies. It did have one big screen movie with Serenity, but many people wanted more. True Blood there was a massive success and had 7 long seasons, so a movie isn't necessarily needed. However, it could wrap up the storyline that the actors wanted to cover before the season ended. Back in 2020, it was officially announced by HBO that a True Blood reboot was in the works, with Riverdale creator Roberto Aguirre-Sacasa helming the project as an executive producer. Not much is known about the series, and we have discussed everything that we know in today's video so far, but there is also a possibility of a movie reboot or a revival happening in place of a series. The reason why people are discussing this is that Riverdale has recently been canceled due to low ratings, and because the CW is shutting down a lot of production. This means that the True Blood reboot might have also been shut down.
Better than that. Sugi.
He's your maker, isn't he?
Don't use words you don't understand.
You have a lot of love for him.
Many fans have discussed that the movie could work well as a self-contained story set after the ending of True Blood. We could focus on a few of the peripheral characters from the series and even pick up where they left off. Of course, if this was a revival, it would need to feature the original cast members, and this would all depend on scheduling. Many of the stars who were in True Blood have gone on to have massive careers, so it's unclear if other cast members would be open to the idea of returning. For now, it feels likely that any sort of revival for the series would be based upon a TV reboot, rather than a potential movie. Though this isn't something that we're gonna write off, it most likely isn't gonna happen, and any chance of the series continuing is gonna be placed through this reboot. Please let us know in the comment section below what you think about a possible True Blood reboot, as well as a possible movie with some of the original cast returning. True Blood was a phenomenal series and deserves the love that it still has, but the series coming back might also hinder its legacy. We have seen many series in the past fulfill the need of fans, such as Better Call Saul, but other series have also failed and dragged the original series through the mud.
5 boys you could possibly want.
No, come on, Pam. They're funny.
That's just great. It's nice to meet you.
Well, aren't you?
And that's the end of today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed this latest video. If you did, would you please let us know in the comment section below? It would be very helpful. Make sure to like the video, comment down below, and of course subscribe to the channel with the notification bell rung. Thank you for watching today's video. Bye!